Yeah.
Have you started live, Swati?
Yes, we've gone live. Good evening, everyone. So we are
Good evening.
here. We are
Good
here
evening.
with a very favorite discussion. Our most favorite, with our most favorite teacher, Venkaton sir. I think the word favorite, none of that explains our love towards him. So if we are, if we have to give some context to this discussion, we thought of telling a few lines. I've recently read in some article about Gandhi's views on education. So he just said this: we are assessing the value of education just as we are assessing, the value of shares in the stock market, or we are assessing the value of land. And we often get into conversations about reforming education, and the conversation mostly revolves around student and how best to deliver some skills to the student. For a change, we thought, how about speaking about the teacher? And then, if we are asked to name any two persons who could have such profound impact on us as students, we should say sorry because we only have one. That is Venkaton sir for us.
Thank you.
And Keshav bro, he's a dearest friend. And yeah, sir, if we may ask you, we know education has a very important role in a person's life, and you have mentioned in Marriage of Monk on how your social studies teacher had such an influence on you, how you are, you even said that there's no book without him. Would you like to share that with us, and why did you feel it so personally, please?
No, what you said in the end, there is.
Yes, so you had that impact because of one teacher in your life.
Yes,
would you
yes.
would you share that experience with us, what that impact actually meant to you and what that experience means to you?
I think till then I was. Actually, you asked me something very, very emotional. I didn't expect.
That's my question, sir. I suggested.
See, I think till that time, my idea was extremely personal. How I would get a job and how I would satisfy my parents. It was nothing more than the personal. And then he came in my ninth class and he talked about Gandhi and others. I was shocked. So, from personal to completely impersonal, and thinking about the society started. So, that is the main difference. And what I noticed is that the same teacher made some impact on others in actually realizing their personal goals better. That they would be great engineers, they would go to US. But I don't know how I got that social consciousness rather than personal. I don't know because many others are influenced by him, but their influence was to make them mm, become better children and earn more, satisfy the parents' dreams. But I don't know how I did not pursue that route.
So sir, should we say that the role of teacher is to create that social consciousness? Do you say that is the goal of teaching? Because I have, from my personal experience, both my parents are teachers. I have very closely seen how their students went into a variety of professions. One is an army man, another a businessman, another politician. There are teachers, wide variety of professions. Um, do you think the role of teacher is to create some that social consciousness, or to create some value system which is which they can take forward into any profession, or to just let you discover yourself?
Social consciousness, values, discover yourself. I think I would say third, discovering oneself. And I don't think social consciousness and values is something that the teacher should target. Mm, Actually, there is one thing that is bothering me. That's what I thought I would share, but you asked me a different question. See, the way I evaluated myself um, is somewhat different from the way students are taking me. Mm, I thought of what a good teacher should be, but that is not what I think I am. I believed that a teacher should have a relationship with the students. What I noticed in my classes is that I am primarily focusing on ideas, not on relationship. Before every batch, I think primarily it is a relationship that matters and not ideas. But I fail. I think my teacher gave me relationship, not just the not just the ideas. So that's where I'm failing. That is one of my dreams. And second thing is that I always, I see some people, definitely you have taken some classes. And I notice that the aspiring teachers and also the present day teachers um, want to be invulnerable. They want to be confident. They want to inspire. They want to motivate. They want to be living examples. They want to seek students' admiration, students' love. And I think all that is wrong. I believe teachers should be vulnerable. Teachers should not seek admiration, should not seek love. And teacher should not draw attention to himself. I think that what the teachers want is that they want to be highlighted. They want to stand as great people. Whereas I believe teachers shouldn't be the center. It is the students should feel empowered. They should discover themselves. So I notice that I become the center. I influence through ideas. I make them think. So I think that is wrong. So it may be difficult to understand what is meant by teacher being vulnerable. Teacher being vulnerable, I think not just accessible, but can be wrong is, it's like that. In fact, I wrote that book, Marriage of Monk. I keep that book. Anybody can read, and that makes me vulnerable. But actually, I don't think in the class I am really vulnerable. So, how we should empower the student? And I reject that answer on social consciousness and values. It is not like that. If a student thinks that he is going to be a carpenter, that's fine. He is going to be a director of films, it's fine. Or he doesn't want to do anything, fine. Serving society, nice of him. So, student should be himself, teacher should give an opportunity for the student to discover himself. And the student should feel empowered and related. It is not the teacher who should be focused. And it is in all these areas I am failing. So I'm telling you what I always felt my dreams were, and in the end I notice it all becomes ideas and some people are inspired. And that's all. So these are the problems that I faced.
Sir, I think let me intervene at this point because I know better when compared to Swati on this particular thing called relationship. I am basically a sociable man, so I talk to several people, and whoever comes to the institute, I talk to them, or somehow I have a relationship with them. I can tell, okay, 90% of times they talk to me because they think I am close to you. I actually get my way because they think that Keshav knows sir means maybe really he's something, or else he knows something better. And in most of our conversations, the central piece is user. Number one. Number two, I don't know why there is that. Maybe because our classes are usually very, very serious, which is why they think that, okay, the very serious topics you know what kind of discussions we have in our class, proper this kind of stuff, anti-national stuff. So seeing the fierceness of your views, many people have some sense of fright, but many students actually very deeply want to connect to you. They several times ask, can we talk to sir? I have these personal problems. Wherever there is a chance, I directly direct them to you. But I, at least on my fingertips, I know 10 people who admire you like anything. 2 days back, I was talking to a person who said, you see, exam, yes, ethics and essay, my writing skills have proven. But what my output from sir's classes is not about exam. It is much bigger. It is much about life. At a very severe crisis in my life where I had to opt between job and or what you call, shall I continue my preparation, or else shall I take some other career where there is slightly some sense of haziness. He spoke for an hour and he gave me a clarity, okay, that I never had in my 28 years of life. And at that point of time, I felt that only sir can give it. So for the first time, I dared and I went to sir and I talked. I always wanted to talk. I have that in me that somehow he is my hero, but I don't know why somehow I'm scared to talk to him. So putting it short, many people feel that sense of relationship to you, that they admire you a lot. But I don't know, somehow maybe because of the nature of discussions in the class, or else the the strength of your views, slightly they get they just take a back seat. So I think your analysis, your assessment on whether you are a successful person or not, in terms of the relationship you cultivate, is only how you do not know the complete picture, sir. Point number one. Point number two is,
thank you.
Yeah. Point number two is, sir, at early stages we need, okay, during our childhood or whatsoever, we always wanted to look up to, because we always want some superheroes to look up to so that we can emulate them. Okay, many of my role models in my early years were my teachers. So the way they conduct themselves, the way they are invulnerable, okay, gives me a source of strength, because we do not expect a superhero to be vulnerable. So if they find a teacher to be, they admire a teacher, if they find them to be vulnerable, how can they actually find some strength, sir? You see, I think teachers should be giving that strength, no, sir. So I did not understand this concept completely on that a teacher should be vulnerable.
Thank you. That's one very controversial point. I mean, I meant it. I mean, I think 99% of people would say that the teacher should be an example, and yes, people will say yes. But I think the problem with setting an example is that teacher becomes higher than the student. I mean, one more thing that about my teacher I can tell you is that my teacher glorified so many people. Gandhi is like that, Mother Teresa is like that, like this. I always believed if they can be like this, I am not going to praise them, but I will be like them. But I don't know how I got. So, I mean, I didn't admire the people he was admiring. He thought a student should admire and everybody should admire, whereas I didn't admire. I wanted to be like them. I don't know how that particular twist came. So what I want the student is that student shouldn't look up at the teacher. And what is vulnerability in my teacher? I thought he was unnecessarily praising people, and we can be like that. Why doesn't he think that his students can be better than his heroes? So I don't know why he taught me something, but I learned something else, something different. So should feel that the teacher is inadequate, teacher is wrong in certain ways, he's misleading, but there are better ways. He's flawed at a very important way, in a very important way, and I shouldn't be like him. It is that the teacher should convey. So students should be centered and not the teacher. Because when I talk to the teachers, they would say how students prize them, what they think of him as a hero, as a great father, great mother, all great things only. I think that is empowering the teacher. That is not the right thing. And teachers want to make powerful speeches, impress and shock the audience. I don't make powerful speeches, I believe, but the ideas are powerful. I don't speak forcefully, I don't speak loudly, but I build a logic in such a way that they are powerful. Whereas I think that the student should think that no, the teacher is wrong. No, he's not like this. It can be different. In fact, I give encouragement to students to come out and then openly criticize, but very rarely they give speeches criticizing me. So on the whole, on many occasions, I'm much ahead, and some ignoring me. Some ignore, and to some I am much ahead. I don't feel that vulnerability, that they think, okay, what is this man is saying is wrong, so we can do better. So all this is part of empowering the student, which is not true, which is not correct. Student should feel, yes, we became like this. We discovered ourselves. We discovered our mission through the faults of the teacher. Not that we have a man and it's so nice that we were with one great person. No. They should discover greatness in themselves. Teacher should be a catalyst. So when the teacher is much ahead and invulnerable, that process is prevented.
Wow.
So these are the issues. Because every time before the course, I think of certain things and I rarely succeed issue. Just 1 second. If a student has a personal problem, it is true. People come and talk to me. But then they only when there is some threshold limit, only when the problem is too serious, they come and talk to me. Otherwise, they don't talk. So I think I generate fear, which is not correct. Fear in the sense not that I punish. I mean, I don't punish and I don't shout. I don't criticize. But I sense something. I convey something else. most of the time I'm failing and I'm thinking about how to overcome them.
Sir,
Hmm.
for first and
And
foremost,
I think what I am saying is also important for a person who wants to be a teacher,
yes.
because I am giving a different image, an image of my dreams and which I am not. So I am giving a different image. So if a teacher is different, that is a strength. So the idea that the teacher should be confident and mesmerized, that's the idea people have. And shock, brilliance and analysis. That is not true. That is not the way.
So then, what exactly is teaching, sir? What is
Teaching is to, I believe teaching is first thing one should teach a relationship. And relationship, on the basis of relationship, some ideas. Because I remember in IAS coaching, there was one teacher who was very good at ideas. There was one teacher who was not good at ideas, but he just showed concern. And I remembered the second person. And of course, I admired the first person too. But I was shocked. I have concern inside. I have concern, but I don't express. I have concern for the future. So, but that is not expressed. So what is it? Expressed is are only ideas, which is wrong. So relationship should be first. On the basis of relationship, some ideas should be conveyed. So targeting ideas itself is not true. I tell myself every time I shouldn't target ideas. Like I tell interview student that finally ideas are not important. You should convey your suitability to the job. But I fail in that sense as a teacher because I'm primarily ideas driven. Even if I think okay, I should focus on relationship, I'm carried by ideas. People push me, pull me, but in the direction of ideas.
so? But isn't there an inherent relationship of authority in the class? The moment you are in the
The
teaching
relationship of
position,
authority should not be there.
but isn't that inherent in the framework? Someone is teaching, someone
That
else is listening.
that framework should be broken. No,
How
in
do you?
fact, I tell you
Yes,
how my
please.
career evolved. In the beginning of my career, I think I was closer to the students. In the beginning, I felt my best is being defined in the class. So as I learned more, as I moved to different areas, the distance I think increased. Um, in fact, I was just telling my son about a class in Delhi. He asked me, "How is your class, and what do you think is the right class?" So I told him, "See, in my class, the person from first bench and person from the last bench are talking to each other." Okay. So I said that they are free to talk like that. I consider it as a compliment. And then I also notice people who are going for a break are coming late. I mean, some people felt that there should be discipline in the class, and what is teacher doing? Then my son, following all this story, he asked me a question which shocked me. He said, "Nana, in your class, can somebody put his legs on the on the place where you keep the books? Can one sit like this in your class?" He said. He asked. I was shocked. So friendship freedom, togetherness are the things that the teacher should convey, not the ideas about how the world should be. World will be, we are not going to change it.
Sir, in that sense,
So I changed. I changed. So many things happened, but I'm just giving you what is my image of what makes a good teacher, and how in a way, in certain ways that I myself did not plan, I came to be like what I am.
sir, in this sense, how is
So, to say you can be teachers of the type that I am dreaming. I
no,
mean,
you are one, sir.
you can begin with. You can begin with.
We still differ with you. I don't think you are scary. Each of us come to you not just in critical moments. I think we want to talk to you, as Keshav said, regarding everything. I given a chance, I think we would love to spend our time with you. Have a holiday retreat at your place. Why not? We would love it. Not just about the things that matter the most to us, just any casual conversation. It's a delight to talk to you. So I don't know. Maybe you are, yeah, maybe you are too ahead and you are imagining something else that we can't even understand. So for us, this is overwhelming for us. So we haven't seen a teacher like this in our lives. And so this basis of Keshav, just I'll have a quick
Yeah, sure.
question. Sir, how then does a teacher differ from a parent? How is a teacher different? Hello?
From a parent.
Yeah. If the relationship is based on love, a hearty relationship, then how is a teacher different from a parent?
I don't see difference at all. Only thing is that a teacher is for a specific period of time and a parent is forever.
Shall we also
Any
say that
any other difference?
maybe parent has that conflict of interest and does want to exert their ideas on their child?
And
As
parent shouldn't do, and so should be teacher.
teacher, sir,
Teacher
as you
shouldn't do, parent
mentioned,
should do that.
you
No,
know that
difference is only difference. I mean, I have experience as a parent also. With a student, we give some chance. We give it with a student. We give an opportunity to learn. Whereas to a as a parent, it's not an opportunity. You you have to work many times. As a teacher, there are so many students, you can't work on everybody. So you offer, some people will make use of it, but that is the only way. But a parent doesn't have that luxury. So parent has to work hard and whatever. But so with the child you have more time, and with a student you don't have time. I don't think there is any difference. And when you are a teacher, somebody else is paying, that is students, parents. Otherwise, I don't see any difference. So in that sense, you may become close to some students, whereas with your children, you have to work. You can't choose. So this is how I handled. And anyway, I always believed a good student of me is is closer to me than my child. I always believed, because if I give some importance to me, it is not about any land or house or surname. It is about ideas. and it is that students who carry the ideas. So who are my, if you think that you should be inherited, who will inherit? It is my student, not my children. So children to me are less significant. I'm very, very clear. But I have responsibility, that's all. So when students experiment with these ideas and experiment in different fields, and that's what inheritance is. Inheritance is not physical genes. So I always gave importance to the students and not to my children.
I can fully empathize with your children, sir, because my parents always say, whenever they say our children, ma pillalu, we used to get jealous. They are like our brothers and sisters. They grew up with us, and when mother buys something, she buys for them also. We had this deep jealousy for their students, but I think now I can fully understand why they mean so much for their students, just as you mean so much to us. It's that relation, I think, that they've built with their students over many
No,
years.
it is whom? It is not clear.
It is my parents with their students. So
Okay,
the way they have, yeah, so they always say our children, and when they meant our children, most often it's not us, it's their students. So
that's true.
they talk to their relatives, then they keep on saying ma pillalu, and we assume it was us. No,
Yes.
it's just their students, and they're part of the family even now. And yeah, and sometimes surprisingly, their students tell us to take good care of my parents. They tell us, you take care of teacher garu and master garu for us. So
Child is the one who inherits your most valuable thing. So what do you consider as what is valuable? If you consider your land is valuable, your child, your surname, your child. But if your ideas, it is student. So, and another thing is that I don't think a student should be good at the time he is taking the course, and he should obey the teacher. He should think teacher is great. Not necessary. He just takes certain ideas of teacher, but at a right time he will know their importance. And somebody who is so seriously opposing now may one day see the importance. So I don't think that the best student is the one who will one day implement your ideas. It's not all like that. Somebody who is very calm. I met one person in Delhi. He told me, "Sir, I never discussed anything in your class. Now I am a teacher. I am implementing what all you are saying." It's like that. So it is not necessary that student should be best in the class. Not necessary he should be interacting with you. So I know that some people take seriously, and in fact, one thing that I can tell you, probably this I think is a attitude of a good teacher. I believe this good teacher only is that I never really look for numbers. Just one or two students who are following me is enough. Okay, so I never look for numbers, which also meant that I didn't want to teach in such a way to maximize the numbers. I would teach in a particular way. Let us see how many people will sit. Only few people would sit, but that it is those people I am interested in. Whereas people measure success in terms of the number of students, I don't bother. I want whoever is sitting or want to think that there is something. He may not fully understand what is going on in a class, because in this exam there is a lot of variation. Some may have done PhD, some may have just finished graduation. So it is enough if few people take these ideas are important. I may not fully understand, but it gave me a new way to look at, and I will one day look at. That is what is important to me. And then do you see when some teachers say that they involve students in participation, but do you see my participation is different? My participation is never with the group. My participation is always with a student. I ask everybody to keep quiet and engage in a one-to-one conversation. I don't ask a question and let all the people answer. No. One-to-one conversation till it comes to a point. So I believe in terms of who in this group will take these ideas one day, whatever the way. I don't bother about the numbers.
Sir, isn't the idea taking central place here?
That's true. That's a problem. I am saying. I give importance to ideas.
Sir, there are two ways. One.
That's another issue. No, let me complete. That's
Please.
Another issue. Maybe you get some people through relationship. You may get some people through relationship, though they are not good at ideas. I see these possibilities, but on the whole, I feel my classes are more of idea-led rather than relationship. So, with little more of relationship, things can be different. And I think even the ideas have to be communicated in the framework of relationship. That's idea. Relationship should be the broader base. And relationship included vulnerability, not authority, not like he's a great example, not like that. I think I also believe these things are changing because in the beginning of the career, I don't think I was like this. Because I didn't know so many things when I meet my old students. The things that they talk about, I mean, surprise me. They say I taught very important things, but when I examine the substance, I'm surprised that that they don't really know much. It's because in the beginning I myself didn't know much. So gap increased and power of ideas became more important.
Do you think it is because of the students?
No, students are good. I don't have any complaint about the student. Maybe student overall quality may have declined. I don't know about that, but we are getting serious students only. It's not about the students. I think student teacher gap itself is one. I mean, at least these are the things that I think about. These are my dreams. Oh, please.
You were speaking about ideas. We spoke about 4 to 5 broader themes here, sir. We spoke about the difference between a parent and a teacher, the power of ideas, etc. And I think I want to add one very small example from our class, which I think only teachers do, and I think only teachers like you do. Not teachers like you do, only you can do. We were having a very broad discussion on Islam, Buddhism. We dissected various sects. You actually got you gave us the what you call gist of prophet, etc. And you said the idea that religion should give us is not about how you become a better follower, a better religious person, but a religion, or especially Islam or whatever, should enable you to become one more prophet.
Exactly. That's why
So I
our
think
classes are far ahead. I don't think anybody, any teacher says you become a prophet.
nobody tells you you should become a Jesus or you should become a
Ex-
prophet. You set the
exactly.
bar so high, very
Right.
logically, so
Exactly.
strongly, so powerfully that after the class you just put your hands in your pockets and walk away. You do not have anything. Your thoughts become numb, basically. I think no parent can do that, sir. So in that respect, as you said, teacher is
One
far,
recent
far,
reference that
far.
I brought about is that, see, in Feynman, I took the classes in sociology, come part of anthropology. I gave the transcripts of the classes at RC Reddy, and it made lot of difference because they have the transcripts plus my classes, and that increased their learning.
I'll
And
put it
I
that way, sir.
could understand that they were following and they could discuss, they could follow much better. So I realized that the ideas we are discussing in the class are not backed up in any textbook. So students are finding it difficult to grapple and question further. And also, even if I give material, I give the best material, and the class is much ahead of the material. I think by going for books and transcripts, we encourage the discussion. I mean, I'm very happy with the course that last offered in RC Reddy Study Circle, based on the transcripts that I delivered at Feynman. So it made a lot of difference.
I'll just brief what sir actually said.
Ideas are huge. I mean, gap, huge gap, huge gap is there. So this gap was not there in the beginning. The gap kept on increasing. It became like that. Okay, please continue.
What
I'll
do you
just
think is,
brief
yeah,
what sir actually
sure,
said.
sure.
Hmm?
I'll just brief about the transcript part, sir. What sir actually said is that
Hmm.
you see there were some 60 classes in Feynman about sociology or anthropology.
Hmm.
What sir did was entire class was typed. He got the entire class typed. Okay, entire session typed, and he gave the entire bound script of 60 sessions to RC Reddy. So what does it mean? And all the classes are before them in the form of a transcript. So what happens at RC Reddy now? They will read the transcript, which means they are already done with entire course on anthropology once, and upon that they will discuss. You just see the quality of discussion there.
No, one small difference. Transcript is given after the class because I get the transcript ready before the class only. But they have transcripts to back up. So, but it made huge difference.
And those first level of transcripts were framed from the best of the books like Ember and Ember, etc.
And
So
the class,
upon that,
class discussion.
so first transcripts from books plus what all ideas evolved at Feynman IAS. That
Exactly.
in itself is a book ready to be published or a paper to be
Exactly.
published. Upon that, there will be discussion in RC Reddy.
Yes.
So course
Exactly.
kept on evolving. We
Yes,
missed it. We didn't have that fortune.
Yes, yes, yes. No, that showed the huge gap between what I'm saying in the class and how much the students can take. So, what we are saying in the class is much ahead. So, I mean, these are the issues.
Sir,
Sir,
please, Swati,
yeah,
you go
what widened that gap, you think? Is it, yeah,
I became more knowledgeable, more crisp, began to read more things, and I was not increasing the number of classes. So that's how.
today,
And also, you're talking about teachers. Most of the times, teachers don't have something to convey. You asked me about my teacher here. He has so many things to say. In fact, if you see, there is no difference between what he says outside the class and inside the class. That is his passion. That is what he keeps talking about. That is what he keeps thinking about. So that's what he is. So often teachers don't have anything to convey. Not only that, they don't. It's not only about values, but it's also about. It can be a perspective or about a subject. They don't have passion. I think teachers should have passion. I'm convinced teachers should have passion. And
Far away, sir. I think this is how our system was some years ago. I remember my
that's true.
grandparents telling me
Mm.
how they have learned Mahabharata, Ramayana. They've listened to the stories. They sat in the teacher's home. They went to teacher's home. They
Exactly.
listened to stories,
Mm.
and they were brought up as their own children. But
That's
from
true.
there, we have come so far away. I'm
Mm.
lucky I saw my parents. We had their students coming down home. We were all treated together. We used to eat
Mm.
together.
Mm.
But the current system is so far away. I
Highly
can't.
commercialized.
It is. We have destroyed generations together. We have destroyed the fundamentals of education. It is so painful to see young kids today joking about their teachers in mean and abusive language.
Mm.
It's. I'm not concerned that they are abusing the teacher. That's not my concern. But how the teacher has failed in the eyes of a young kid.
That's
That
true.
is what is bothering.
Dreams.
That is, but let me tell you, the conflict that you are in, the present, the state you are in, is only temporary. Now you are asked to clear the examination, you are finding it difficult, but this phase will pass. This phase will pass, and then you will think about the implications. It is like that. Nothing needs to be implemented then and there. You are in a phase of learning. That's how I see it. So once this phase is over, or whether the successful or failure, then you will think about what is it. Basically, we are trying to create some freedom from public opinion. That's what I'm trying to do in all these things. So that freedom from public opinion can take creative forms and then become successful or become something different. So that's how I look at it. I'm not thinking about the immediate examination. For immediate exam, we have exams and test series, that's a different thing. But we don't focus it in the class.
Maybe this is the actual, the real meaning of freedom, sir. If you have freedom from society, I think which is a better freedom?
Exactly.
So freedom from expectations.
Yes.
What's more?
Freedom
And
from expectations. Yes.
One very quick point to add on. Okay, you were telling about whether we actually discussed moral codes, whether we actually ever thought bribing was a sin. I recently saw an ethics class notes, random notes, and they were writing moral codes. They were giving few tips, wherein you see in solving a case study, the moment you see that you have to offer a bribe, tell that it is wrong. That is what the teacher was preaching there. Immediately, I got an understanding that you fellow, you do not understand ethics.
Yes, exactly.
The narrative everywhere is that the moment you bribe, if you do not stick to moral code, you are a bad guy, you are a wrong guy, you are an unethical guy. Because they are not even trying to think independently, not even trying to apply your brains. And I think we got that empowerment in the class.
Exactly. To make you a good person is to kill you. That is what we go about. And then we also think that there is nothing wrong in cheating. That's an unusual thing, isn't it? And then we say that, okay, you write this because they may be impressed, but don't think that is true, isn't it? So if you want to write it in an examination, you write. If you say it in the interview, you say it, but don't think that is true. So we are trying to create a truly autonomous individuals who are willing to lie, willing to cheat, willing to deceive. We are breaking every moral code, but we are giving foundation to what we think is true morality. and compassion. That's what I believe.
Cheating oneself, simply. They're deceiving
Exactly.
oneself.
Don't cheat. Don't deceive yourself, but you do others. If that's what they are insisting. So we all these are the ways by which we create freedom from the society. So I want the students to have independent values to approach the society, rather than take society's values as his own and trying to be good according to the society. Isn't it so?
Society is never a good teacher, in my opinion. Very rarely. It is as good as it is shaped by individuals, I believe. As it is as good as it is nudged by individuals. Yeah, Keshav.
In one particular discussion in ethics class, we were discussing a case study, sir. At one point of time, there was a discussion wherein you have to beat a Muslim guy, you have to look at him with prejudice, and because you do not have any other chance. I was debating vociferously and telling, sir, how can you protect the state? You need to be your duty. No, that is the first quality of a civil servant. And I was debating. Then you just looked at me and said, see, Keshav, the first quality a civil servant should be is that he should be a good person. First, you should understand what it means to be a good person. Think as a good person, and then you can think of civil servant. That is a different case. First, be good. That is the essence of ethics. So I think that was the thing we were trying to arrive at the definition of goodness for each person, sir, in our classes. That we were each class we were doing that and defining our own selves. That is the best part in our classes. Yes, Swati.
I was just, maybe the bigger worry for me personally is, where are we headed to, sir? I can't stop but thinking about it, because I'm interacting with a variety of youngsters from who are activists, highly energetic, into politics at very young age. They're defending environment, they're protecting women's rights. They have lots of enthusiasm, but there's a race even in compassion. This race in being the best social activist. There's a race in being that one person who has built the system. I think there's a plague, and I don't know how many teachers we need to resurrect this system altogether. There's something that has to change fundamentally and substantially for our next generation to be able to capture what is happening around them with the amount of change that is happening on a daily basis. For them to process and even define themselves in the future would be a huge challenge, and we are nowhere near in equipping them with anything, least and even the policy is directed at skills, outcomes, learning outcomes, teacher student ratio, infrastructure. So I think if we are to end the discussion, we should leave it on two notes. One, with the sense of happiness that we have one teacher like you, and with a sense of despair that we need so many teachers like you. Yeah, Keshav.
Swati, I have one last question to sir.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Sir, what the idea of teacher that you were giving us or giving to the world is completely different, completely radical, something we never saw, we never even imagined these kind of notions, for to a teacher. So two simple questions are. Number one, how did you evolve this idea? Did you have any influences? From whom did you take this idea? How did you evolve? And
thank you.
Even more interesting. And even more interesting last question is, did you find one? Someone whom you were actually, the ideal teacher that you actually gave us, did you find one, sir?
Okay.
Not yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. Two questions are very important. Coming to the first question, I felt that even a highly successful teacher should convey selfishness and ambition. So that he should not convey. So ultimately, he should convey friendship and intimacy, not about. I mean, that is more important than ideas, because you see people who may be egoistically trying to implement those ideas and change the world. So they may succeed in solving the world's problem of poverty and things like that, but that is not the way, and they remain very poor as individuals. So I think a teacher should set this itself in the class. Success should not mean helping people, solving world's problems, but something else, and that is first. I mean, does it answer you? Because I am giving importance to that. Is that clear, Keshav? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. And second thing is that I have seen some enlightenment related teachers like Papaji and Mooji. Their get-togethers are different. I was more exposed to Krishnamurti, and Krishnamurti is so. I think one reason why I became not a good teacher that I wanted to be was like Krishnamurti maybe set a not a good example. So when I saw other teachers like Papaji and Mooji, they were different. They were interacting in a friendly way. They were different. So when I saw them, I thought that this seemed to be the right method of teaching. Okay. So this is what I understood.
So maybe you were implying 2 points, sir. Number one, teaching as a profession should, the base of the superstructure called teaching lies on relationship. Number one.
Yes, yes.
Number two,
yes,
and
yes.
the foundations of being a good teacher does not come from teaching as a profession, but from Guru Shishya relationship, from what you call Papaji, etc. You should go there to understand what it is to be a good teacher, because that is the definition of being good.
They are conveying. I found that they are conveying through silence and all kinds of things. They are not banking on ideas. Ramamaharshi didn't bank on ideas. So conveying only through ideas is not really right. Ideas constitute a part. That's what I understood from them. Ideas lead to more ideas. Answers lead to more questions. That's what I understood.
Ultimately, you should find someone with whom you can talk very easily, connect very easily, fall back upon for everything in your life. He should be your best friend. Yeah.
A good teacher is a good person, I think.
Yes.
Simply say.
Yes, of course.
It's just that their deepest personal values.
And a good person doesn't want to be superior to. And a good person doesn't want to be superior to all the people around.
Yes. So a good person
Friends
in the framework
never show
of
superiority.
teaching. Yeah, exactly. Who assumed the badge of teaching, and the person may assume another badge, and then.
Keshav, we do all kinds of funny things, right? We said in one class, if a person is very arrogant that he is going to be he is very honest, I advise him to take a bribe so that he will feel compassionate towards all the people who take bribes.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very much.
So that's what it is. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It was really a
Thanks
pleasure.
a lot. Thanks
I
a lot.
think we should work out on a transcript of this and publish, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sir.
Thank
I just have one question from the audience. When you started saying this is not what I started with. I was worried about something, but then because you asked this question, let me answer this, and you started answering my question. Did you convey what you are worrying about? And yes, that's his question.
Yeah, I want more informal, more friendly, intimate ambience rather than a class which is full of ideas. That's what I want. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
sir. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good
Bye,
night.
sir.
Thank you, Keshav. Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
for watching. Yeah. Bye. Bye, sir. Good night.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Keshav.
Vittal